Welcome to NBA Countdown, presented by DoorDash.
This is the most stunning trade in NBA history.
I think loyalty is a big word for me. I thought I was going to spend my whole career there. It was home.
It's something that we believe in as an organization. It's going to make us better, and time will tell if I'm right.
Doncic! And immediately turns to the Mavericks bench.
You know he wants to make a statement.
If you know, you know. This thing of ours, oh, this thing of ours.
What do you think Wednesday's going to be like?
Wednesday?
Yeah, just the atmosphere.
It should be electric.
If you know, you know.
As soon as the trade happened, or should I say, as soon as we were able to actually process that Luka Doncic was really traded and Shams wasn't hacked, we've had this date circled on our calendars. Luka is back in Dallas for the first time as a member of the Los Angeles Lakers. The atmosphere in the arena, it should be unlike anything we've ever seen before. And when asked about his return last night, Luka said he didn't know how he was going to feel, just that it was going to be emotional. And who can blame him? None of us envisioned Doncic walking down that tunnel to the visitors' locker room. But he's not the only one with revenge on his mind. Anthony Davis has yet to suit up against the team that he helped bring a championship to, and he's ready to prove that he can do the same for the Dallas Mavericks. But Anthony Davis is just getting familiar with the floor that Luka Doncic has mastered. He's back. He's warming up at American Airlines Center. But look at this. The left wing three, right? He's hit 227 threes from that very spot. And who could forget this one? A franchise record 3 buzzer beaters, including this one against the Boston Celtics. Luka dagger after Luka dagger from that very same spot that he was just knocking down some warm-up shots from. But the thing is, Luka was also able to get it done where he's warming up from now. The opposite wing, the opposite side of the floor here, because it didn't matter. Single-teamed, double-teamed, one hand, two hands. The Dallas fans, they were delighted by Luka Magic no matter how much time was left on the clock. Nobody that has ever stepped on that particular floor has averaged more points than Luka Doncic. But you know this. His flair for the dramatic, it wasn't limited to beyond the three-point line. He could even make free throws exciting. Stephen A., my friend, you might want to look away because everyone remembers the intentionally missed free throw and then the putback to force overtime against the Knicks. It wasn't just the unreal finishes, but the unreal stat line. Nobody in the league has ever posted a 60, 20, and 10 game before, and ain't nobody has done it since Luka Doncic did. And he did it all for Dallas, right? He set a franchise record for a single season in points per game and assists per game. Doncic also had 21 triple-doubles last season, the most in a season in Mavericks history. And head coach Jason Kidd, he spoke just moments ago about the backlash to trading Luka Doncic.
This is a business. It happens, right? Trades happen. This won't be the last trade. Some are comparing it to Babe Ruth, which is kind of cool.
But the thing about Babe Ruth is after the Red Sox moved on from their generational star, the biggest franchise in their sport, there was that whole curse of Bambino thing that followed them, an 84-year championship drought. So for more on how Dallas fans are digesting the return of Luka Doncic here, let's welcome in Tim McMahon. He is live right now from outside the American Airlines Center. Tim, can you just paint a picture here? How are fans feeling with just under 40 minutes to go till tip-off?
Malik, I'm standing in the shadows of Dirk Nowitzki's statue. The inscription on that statue reads, "Loyalty never fades away." 21 letters that sum up his 21 seasons in Dallas, and he handed the torch to Luka Doncic. That inscription really was kind of the ethos of the Mavericks fan base. They felt like they would have Luka as theirs forever. Their hearts were broken by this trade, and you've got people, they're chanting "Fire Nico." They're chanting, they want to fire me for reporting on this trade. These people are upset. Look, you've got Luka Mavericks jerseys, you've got Luka Slovenia jerseys, Luka Lakers jerseys. This is a heartbroken fan base that wants to celebrate the 6.5 seasons of spectacular brilliance that Luka Doncic delivered in Dallas, but they are mourning that it's not much more than that. They are mourning the fact that his career, his tenure in Dallas, was cut way short.
It was certainly a shocking trade, and we can hear it, right? The Fire Nico chants behind you, certainly the picture of how Dallas Mavericks fans are still feeling about this trade. Tim McMahon, thank you so very much for setting the scene for us here on NBA Countdown. So the excitement is also seen in the ticket price, right, for the game, because if you want to get in that building and chant whatever it is you want to chant, it's going to cost you over 500 big ones, according to Vivid Seats, over 400 big ones. That's the highest average ticket sold price price for a regular season home game for the Mavericks since at least 2010. So now that we've heard the chants, now that we've seen the numbers, gentlemen, let's break it all down. Bob Myers, you were with Kevin Durant when he made one of the most highly anticipated returns in NBA history. He signed with your Golden State Warriors, and you were with him going back to Oklahoma City. But this one, it feels like it's going to be a little bit different.
Well, it will be. But Wendy, what's the distinction between those two examples?
Nobody said anything about Babe Ruth.
Choice?
Well, one, choice, right?
Yeah.
Luka didn't ask to leave. And by the way, he didn't leave. He was told to leave. He was shown the door. So he's going to get a different type of reception. By the way, I can go on and on how Kevin was received that night. That wasn't right. Okay, how he was received in Oklahoma City. He left as a free agent. That's all he did. He didn't ask for it. He just left as a free agent. And Luka, if you're talking about this one, he's going to get a lot of love in this building.
Absolutely.
He's going to get a lot of love because he didn't complain. He didn't asked to be traded like a lot of stars do. So I think this is a little bit different than when guys go back. He's going to get a lot of love in that building. And by the way, he played great for the Mavs. No player is perfect, Malika.
I
but I think he's going to get a lot tonight.
I remember being there in December of 2010 when LeBron came back to Cleveland.
After the decision.
The hate, you could feel the air. It was like heavy. I've never seen anything like we're going to see here tonight because this is going to be an embrace. They're going to love him. Actually, Luka thrives on venom. He likes to come in there, pick out a fan, pick out the opposing team, run his mouth, curse him out in Slovenian, curse him out in English, curse him out in Spanish. Everywhere he looks tonight is going to be people who love him. So I'm not sure, and I don't know if he's sure how he's going to react to this environment.
We're not supposed to be here. We're not supposed to be having this conversation right now, right? We're talking about the return of Luka Doncic. But the question is, why are we having this conversation? Bob, Wendy, Malika, why are we having this conversation? We're having this conversation because the Dallas Mavericks didn't believe that Luka Doncic was that guy that was going to get them over the hump and bring another championship back to Dallas. And that's a real thing because I'm one of those non-believers. Right? When it comes down, can Luka be that guy, not just to take you to Disney World and get you through Disneyland and probably buy you a funnel cake and a corn dog, but can actually get you on the ride. And so that's the question.
Yeah, and you're right. But you know what we can't do anymore? There's no more nuance in society. So look, you can trade Luka Doncic. I can go with you on that. I can even go with the Mavericks. I'm not saying I will, but you can make me believe Luka's not the guy to get you by himself. But what I can't get on board with is the return and the trade.
Yes.
That I have a hard line on. But if we can argue about where Luka can do it or not, I don't know. He's young. Maybe he can, maybe he can't. Mavericks know more than I do. They said he can't. They traded him. I have an issue with, couldn't you get a little bit more?
And this is Nico Harrison, the general manager of Dallas Mavericks, on the floor ahead of this enormous game. I mentioned this on NBA Today that I was with Nico when the Dallas Mavericks came here to Los Angeles. He watched Luka Doncic warm up, and later Luka was asked about that and saying he was right there. And Luka said, I didn't see him. I wasn't looking at him. I didn't
believe it for a second. Yeah. So obviously he knows where he's at. And I agree. The sentiment that Bob has expressed is the sentiment that has been expressed to me by team executive after team executive after team executive for the last couple of months. Okay, trade Luka, fine. The return, not fine.
And we've all maybe bought or sold a house. When you buy or sell a house, you don't invite one buyer over and say, what will you pay?
Well, you do if you get a maximum price.
Sure. So that's you knock on the door and say, I'll pay you more than, we have to take that.
Yes.
But in this situation, when you say AD in a first, you go, well, I got to open this thing up. I got to see who else is.
Hold on, time out. It's not like Nico traded Luka for me. We're talking about a guy that made an all NBA, all defense, was up for Defensive Player of the Year, one of the most skilled power forwards to ever play the game of basketball, that's in the middle of his prime, right? So we're talking about Anthony Davis here. It's not like he just said, no, he got back something that put them in position right now, short term, over the next 2 or 3 years, to actually give them a real shot of bringing back a championship.
I really like Anthony Davis. I probably like him more than most people, but Perk, give me another first-round pick. Give me Austin Reeves. It's not about Anthony Davis. Just take the age. Just take the age.
Take two to tangle, Bob. What if they want
then I might say who else is interested?
Then they don't get Luka Doncic.
Yeah.
And you don't get him.
Yeah.
And yet here we are. They did. They got Luka Doncic. The Los Angeles Lakers are playing their very first game with Luka as a member of their team.
And when the Mavericks envisioned this, they envisioned having a much stronger team than they've got tonight.
Well, they are healthier than they've been in a long time, with Gafford back, with Derek Lively back, and Anthony Davis.